Okay, guys, bear with me while I get set up here. All right, guys, I think I'm going to get started. So the point of this today is to basically go through a sort of Star Citizen walkthrough for new players. So if you have not played before and you're thinking about playing, this will serve as a kind of guide to basically get things going. There's a lot of contradictory thoughts about Star Citizen in the game. I personally really enjoy playing it, even despite the bugs and all of the crazy shit we have to deal with playing the game. But yeah, if you're like me and you're interested in the game, you want to start playing, hopefully you'll find this helpful. So just to quickly kick things off, I wanted to quickly show you the website, the RSI website. Sorry, I'm also playing on an ultra wide monitor, so making everything fit better for you guys is a little tricky. But when you set up the game, you're basically going to want to download the the RSI launcher. Once you've downloaded the launcher, just like any other kind of game that you would download from a browser, you'll then install the game from the launcher. The launcher looks like this, you can see here, and yours will say install game. There will be two options for you to install. You can either do live the 3.243, or you can do the 4.0 preview. Even though it says preview, it's still actually a live build. There's basically two parallel live builds at the moment. I would recommend doing the 4.0 preview, especially if you're starting out from scratch, because this will be the version going forward that will be persistent, meaning that any progress you make in the 4.0 preview will continue on, whereas the live one, this is going to be phased out, I would think, probably within the next month. I can't see it lasting much longer than that. The only reason why some players who have been playing are still playing on 3.24 is that there is an event going on there called Save Stanton, which has some unique rewards. So you could go in there to complete that. But like I said, if you're just starting out, that's really not going to be something for you. And you'll probably kind of struggle with that a little bit because it's some more advanced gameplay, which you'll get to sooner or later. So yeah, once you've installed the game, you will see these here, and you're going to just click launch game. By the way, I've started this account completely separate from my main account. So I'm also going completely zero here. I'll start off with the same funds that you have in game, the same ships, etc. When you do purchase the game, you will have to choose a ship package. And let's just quickly take a look at that. I also recommend, by the way, if you're not sure, like you can wait for a free fly event. I'm not sure when the next one is. I want to say it's in March. If anyone is watching this after the stream and wants to comment and say when that is, that'd be great. If not, I'll actually try and I'll do some research and put it in the description for you guys. So on the website, you can see you've got the pledge store here. I'm just coming over to the menu. Okay, we're going to go shop, and we're going to go pledge store. So these are the game packages. If you are going to buy, I don't recommend doing anything other than just the absolute start. Any ship that exists in Star Citizen, you can buy in-game with in-game currency. You do not have to pay for it. A lot of people think that you have to pay like crazy amounts of money, which you can do, to buy the ships on the site, but you can actually buy everything in-game, which is what I would recommend. I'd also recommend starting with something like the Aurora, which is just a good all-arounder. It's not going to get you very far in sort of like, you know, running any PvP or anything like that, but you're not going to be diving straight into PvP straight off the bat, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. So 40 USD for the starter package here. That'll give you access to the alpha of the game, and you'll have this starter ship to go with. If you... This is so annoying, I need to get rid of this. Oh my god. If you want a different ship, you want to upgrade slightly, I would say the Avenger Titan. Definitely a decent PvP ship. I believe it also has some storage, so you can do some other missions, which we'll talk about, running some cargo missions really early on in the game to earn some extra money. The other one I would recommend, and not seeing it here, view all game packages, is, and this is one of the most popular ships in game right now, is the Cutter. It's a great little ship, has fair amount of storage as well, so you can actually do some beginner cargo missions quite well, and it'll carry you through to progress in the game. Firepower is minimal, but definitely, again, enough to give you enough time to get out of a sticky situation. Although I doubt very much that you're going to find yourself, you know, getting into much PvP. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to get ganked in the game, but it's unlikely. It's a huge game. There's a lot of space for everyone. All right, so let's just jump in here real quick. Why is my... Okay, there we go. So we're going to go into the... Once you've logged in, like I did, press launch. You're going to have these two options here. Arena Commander is like a very stable version of aspects of the game. So once you click into Arena Commander, you could do sort of like... You can fly around in maps. You can do like Pirate Swarm. You can free fly. It's a good place to test things out, but it's not actually part of the universe. The actual MMO part of the game is in the persistent universe here. So that's where we're going to click. Gonna wait for that to load. By the way, right now the game is actually kind of relatively buggy. So 2 seconds. Let's check this. So we'll see how well we do in terms of getting through the game without it crapping us out. So here you're going to choose your character. There's a ton of options here. This part of the game has actually gotten really good over the past year. It used to be pretty terrible. I'd say it's actually quite detailed now. I'm not going to go over this in detail because this is something you really want to take your time with, assuming you want to do that. For this, I'm going to actually just randomize. You can get some pretty funny looks going on here. Let's just find something that looks... Oh my god. Jesus Christ. This guy looks pretty insane. Oh my god. I like this dude. No. Wow. I'm not going to comment on what some of these things look like because I don't want to get in trouble. This dude looks tough. Not really, but it's fine. Come on, let's just get a little bit. There we go. This guy looks okay. We're going to run with this. Okay, so like I said, you can going to click review here. And once you've kind of made your character, you click accept. It'll save. And now we can get into the game. So you can play a tutorial run through, which... If it's your first time playing, it's actually not a bad idea. The tutorial's pretty bare bones, though, and actually, I've heard some people say that it's more confusing than it is helpful, so it's not really the state right now that I think makes too much sense. So we're going to skip that for now, and I'm going to walk you through bit by bit. So here we're going to select our starting location. Right now, because we're in 4.0, which is the new version of Star Citizen, we can choose between two different star systems. We have the Stanton system, which is the one that's been out for the longest, and the brand new Pyro system, which is geared towards more PvP play. But again, I think it's a bit misunderstood. Like, you can definitely play a lot of PvE in Pyro, and it's not as dangerous as everyone says. In fact, I think people get equally ganked in Stanton as they do in Pyro at this point, because the game loops just aren't there yet. I do recommend starting in Stanton for now, though, just because it's a little bit more user-friendly. Once we've selected our system, we can now choose a location within Stanton. There are various places and planets with hangars on them or stations on them that you can choose. I would recommend choosing New Babbage if you're just getting into the game. It's not my favorite, but it's the most user-friendly. Personally love either Lorville or Area 18. Arson's also pretty cool. But New Babbage does make sense if you're a new player. So we're gonna click that for this. For your server, just choose best, and then we're gonna hop in by play game. So one thing to note here is this warning. This location will become your primary residence. Are you sure about this? What this means is that you cannot change where this hangar will be going forward. So once you've selected New Babbage as your home location, you're kind of stuck with it. Now you can, we're going to go through this in the game, you can imprint yourself onto another station, which means that you will then spawn at this other location, but it will not be persistent, meaning that anything in your home location, which is New Babbage, if you have gear that you collect or ships that you collect, whatever, you put it in your hangar, it's going to stay there. Whereas if you change your imprint, you'll respawn there, but that gear that you've collected will not persist in that hangar. We'll go into that in more detail because I know that can sound kind of confusing if you haven't heard of that before once we get into the game. So we're going to say, yep, okay, confirm. We're happy with that choice. Hopefully now it actually lets us in the game. Q1, that's a good sign. A lot of players have had trouble recently getting into the game. 4.0 literally came out right before the holidays, and of course, CIG, the dev team, rightly so, needed to take a break over Christmas, so we were left with a lot of bugs in 4.0, but still some playable content. I've personally had a ton of fun playing it. I know a lot of people have, but I know there are quite a few people that have had a horrendous time, some of which have not even been able to get into the game. I'm hoping with this new account, we're not going to get into any of those issues. If we do, I can always hop onto my main account, and hopefully that continues working as it has done. Looks to me, though, like we might be okay. We will see. By the way, guys, this is my first stream, first video to this channel. I have run some other channels before, but never done any live streaming, so this is all fresh to me too. Curious to know how everything sounds and looks, so please feel free to leave me any comments on or any advice. I'll take it. Just kind of hoping to build more of a community around Star Citizen. Like I said, absolutely love playing the game, so the more people that are playing, the better as far as I'm concerned, and I'd love to meet some new people outside of the game too, so we can play. Okay, so here we are. We are in our hab inside New Babbage, the location that we chose. To get out, I'm literally gonna walk you through every single step. So I'm also just using mouse and keyboard right now. I don't have my other camera up to set you, but I do also use sticks and a thruster that are by my side here. I'm not going to touch those today, just so that I can walk you through this using mouse and keyboard only. So to get out of bed, we obviously can move around by the WASD. So we're just going to do that. Click that. You can also, I think, click Y. That will just automatically get you out of bed. And this is our hab. This is where you're going to spawn every time you're in Star Citizen. You log into the game for now. And I'll explain why I said for now later. But so this here is a terminal which you can access anything that you've stored in game. So we're going to click into that by pressing F and clicking on it. You actually just, I'll just walk out of this real quick. So if you're looking at the screen, you can see up top here, it says press F. So if you just click F, it's going to drop you right into that. And we don't actually have anything in here right now. PC Lightning Showdown holographic flag. I'm not sure why this is here. It's just kind of random stored shit, but we have nothing. We obviously have no storage at the moment because this is a brand new account, right? My other account would have tons of stuff in it, as yours will as you progress through the game. So there's not really anything to do in here other than, this is where you log in. You can access your storage, and that's about it. I'm not sure if there are plans to do more with these later on or make them customizable. There are weapon racks here, but if you leave a weapon in here, I do not believe that it will be there when you log back into the game, so I wouldn't recommend putting anything in there. Okay, so we're heading up to a door here. All doors work the same, just as the terminals. You hover over it. You can open it by pressing F. If you hold F, you'll go into this kind of like zoomed in mode. Now you can mouse over the open. You can lock the door. You have options to like turn lights off and stuff like that sometimes too. So we're just going to open the door by pressing F. And now we're out into this lobby area. All of the stations, whether you pick New Babbage or anything else, are going to have this exact same system. They're just going to look different, and the layouts are going to be different, right? So once you've come out of your hab, we're just going to find the elevator, which right here is in the middle. Again, same thing, hold F, or just tap F. The elevator's now been called. Wait for it. Elevators are their own boss in Star Citizen, which is kind of an ongoing joke because you can walk into an elevator, drop right through the floor and die. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. So again, now we got to choose a floor. So what we're going to do, you can just move down and go to lobby and click it, but I just, by habit, hold F, put my mouse down to lobby, click it, and now the elevator is moving in real time. So it's not like this is a loading screen. The elevator is right now physically moving down to that location, which is also a cause for a lot of debate in Star Citizen right now. because I think if they, didn't have it set up that way and just got over themselves and made it more of like a loading thing, then we wouldn't have so many problems with the elevators. But I get it. They're trying to be different and trying to do things right. We appreciate that. So over here, you can see there are more terminals. You're going to find these kind of throughout stations everywhere, exactly the same as what was up in your hab. Just go into it, and it's going to show you that same storage and items that you have in here. You can basically store unlimited stuff in these. At least that's to my knowledge. It says 1%. I don't think I've ever seen that go up. It's just, it's basically unlimited. Again, correct me if I'm wrong here. So also take note of the signs above the doors. This is a great way to move around and find your way around stations. And this space stations of a staying right now, we're on a planet, right? So this space station on this planet is going to have these signs in it. And the same in space, the stations there will also have those signs. So if you're getting lost, always just take a look around. Everything is actually done pretty well. The maps are quite useless at this point, though. So empty terminal loop. So now what we want to do is make our way from the habs, which is where we've loaded in, and we want to get to the space station so that we can load a ship up. And I'm going to show you a few things on the way. So we're looking for the metro loop, which as you can see is downstairs. In New Babbage, this is why I recommend New Babbage, because it is quite simple. You get down here, you have two options. You can either go left, which as you can see takes you to the spaceport, or we can go right, which takes you to an expo center and the Commons. The Commons is a place where you can buy ship upgrades, or sorry, upgrades for your ship, and there's a bunch of other, restaurants and whatever else here, some weapon stuff. But right now, we're going to go straight to the spaceport. Actually, let me just check. I think, if I remember rightly, there's a new shop that I actually wanted to run by real quick to show you something. I think it's in this part, so we're just going to step back a second here. Yeah, okay, so again, another great reason to choose New Babbage is this shop right here, which you can stock up on before you leave the space station. We're getting a few frames dropped here. So again, this is another terminal. It's different than your storage. This is the shop terminal. So when we click F and go into it, you're going to see this looks a little different, right? So you can buy furniture for your hangar, which we're not going to get into any of that in this video because that's its own thing. But there are a few things that you should always buy when you're going out on an adventure, when you're leaving the hangar, going into your ship, going on to another planet, doing any missions, whatever it is. You definitely want to have a couple of med pens on you. Now, unfortunately, med pens for me right now, at least on my other account, are bugged. And whenever I use one, I get like the black screen of death and I'm done. We will maybe try and use one of these later and see. So you can see here, this is the amount that they're going to cost you. This is the amount that's in my wallet. Now, I can see that I've got 25,000, and I actually think that's kind of high. I think when you start, you only start with 5,000, unless I'm wrong. Either way, we're going to go with it. Hopefully you have the same thing when you log in. So we're going to buy. So if you quick buy, it's going to add one of those to your inventory. If you click buy down here, though, we get the option to add multiple amounts to the inventory. So we're going to just add maybe 3 for now. That should do it. So we're going to click buy. All right, cool. Transaction complete. So let's see what else we got in here. Can't remember if you can buy some of the other here. We can actually narrow down our search by going up here. Okay, so we're going to change all category to personal weapons. There we go. Personal weapons. And then I just want to see the weapons themselves. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see. This multi-tool, you're going to definitely want one of these for sure. They're great for moving things around, tractor beaming things away and towards yourself, picking things up, etc. You can also put a mining attachment in one of these, which allows you to mine, but again, not something we're going to get into today. So we're going to buy just one of those. Actually, you know what? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, I don't think there's any point getting any weapons right now because the things that we're going to be doing at this point are not going to require any weapons. I want to show you how to stock your character up with some basic stuff before diving into any of that. We do need a mining attachment though. Sorry, not mining attachment, sorry, a tractor beam attachment. So we're just going to go back into here. We're going to go down to personal weapons. We're going to go to attachments. And I'm hoping I can buy this here. So yeah, true hole tractor beam. This is an attachment for that tool that we just purchased, okay? So we're just going to quick buy that. Okay. Now, if you press I, it's going to bring up your, oh, great, it's bugged. So this should bring up your inventory. Let's just move out of the shop. Sometimes it's just a location thing. Yeah, it's not working for me right now, but it could just be because I don't have a backpack on either. If you have a backpack on, it would show up in a square here, and anything in that backpack would show too. You can see that our character actually was gifted, or it starts off with a med pen attached to it already. We've got also a pistol to our side here that we can use, so we do have some things to get us started here already. Now, the stuff that we just bought has gone straight to our inventory, like I told you before. It's all in here, so you can see these are the things that we just purchased. To equip them, we're just going to double click, and you can see now one of them is just attached here, and let's put another one on. Oh, maybe we can only have 2 at a time. I guess we can have 2 at a time here. Okay, let's get this one, and then this we're going to attach. So now that's become a tractor beam tool. We do actually need to purchase a backpack, and I think maybe even some armor, because you cannot wear a backpack on the regular spacesuit unless that's changed. So let's just go buy some basic armor real quick. We're just going to get a chest piece. We're going to get the legs. We're going to get arms. We're going to get a helmet. And then this is the backpack that we're also going to get. Okay. Now let's come out of here. We're going to go back over to inventory. And why is that not come up? You gotta love it. I don't know if that's just bugged. Oh my god. Welcome to Star Citizen, by the way. This can happen. Interestingly, that we've got these two back in here. That's so bizarre. And to bring up this menu that you can see here, I just pressed F1. It's a shortcut to sort of an overview of your character and everything in here. And I just wanted to check my funds. Yeah, so it did take the money out, but I didn't get any armor, which is just awesome. All right, you know what? No, we definitely need that backpack. I'm going to try if I can buy it from here. Hold F. Let's try it. Transaction complete. Let's go see if this is in here now. This is the kind of stuff you have to deal with right now because it's an alpha, right? And now it's all showing up. Okay, whatever. It's fine. We got an extra piece. All right, so we're going to throw on our chest piece by double-clicking, our legs, our arms, and our helmet, and then our backpack. Now we are ready to go on an adventure. So, yeah, so just remember this shop here. Most space stations, not space stations, sorry, planetary stations will have one of these right as you come out of the hab, so you can kind of stock up basic stuff. Back down to the Metro Loop. Metro Loop itself can also be very buggy sometimes. So again, we're just going to the spaceport. So we're going to go left. And I thought I just saw it arrive, but now it's bugged out. So you can see up here, train arriving in 36 seconds. So we're just going to wait around for that train on the other side. Okay. You'd have a train to go to the commons area, like I said before, where there are more shops and things like that. But we don't want that right now. Let's see if we can see this one coming in. Looks like it's going to be arriving first. Oh, this is another player here.
Clear of disembarking passengers.
Ready to go. Geared up. So you can see what I mean by bugged. It's a little sketchy. Anyways, we're going to head over here. Wait for ours to come.
Approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking
Thanks for coming in.
Capsule now approaching station.
Guys, by the way, if you're finding this useful at all, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. And don't forget to hit the like button, blah, blah, blah. Twitch, same thing. I'm over on Twitch here too. I would appreciate the follow. Like I said, hoping to grow the channels and the community and find more people to play, Star Citizen with, and just build a little online community. So if you're having fun here, please consider following along. Also still, working out the jitters for streaming for the first time. So if I'm stumbling over myself, that's why. I apologize. I'll be a streaming veteran at the end of this stream. I'm not sure what that is. Either my power has just gone off or my battery is just kicked in for some reason. Interesting. I don't know if you guys can hear that beeping noise, but my power bank, or my surge protector, sorry, for some reason is tripping. Not really sure why. Let's take a look. Maybe overloading it. Probably do need to get a bigger one for the system. Okay, so we have arrived at the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport. From here, we're going to hang a left. You can see all these players too. I know they're kind of desynced a little bit right now. We're going to head into another elevator. Here is a perfect example of something you don't want to step into. That will be a black void of death. Do not go in there. All right, so we've called the elevator. Just waiting for this guy to show up. That did not look safe. We're in, and we're going to hit the... We're in the Metro Loop, so we're going up to the terminal, which is the spaceport. I'm really sorry if you can hear that beeping. I'm hoping it's not coming up on the mic. But I can't turn it off. I'm scared if I turn it off, it's going to actually reset the power bank, and then my computer would be screwed. All right, here we are. We're going to follow again the sign, Spaceport Lobby. Let's go. Now, eventually, I think the plan is for these spaceports, you'd actually be able to go onto a ship that's kind of AI run, and that would take you to another system, which I can't wait for that game loop to enter, because I actually would love to do a true zero to hero account where I don't even have a ship and I have to just, like, you know, complete some tasks around the spaceport. I think that would be sick. And then, you know, you save up and get your first, like, crappy ship and go and do something. So we're up here now. This is the main spaceport. I'm not going to go into all this stuff over here. You don't need to worry about it. We're just looking for this area right here, which is our hangars, which is where we're going to spawn our vehicles. So what you can do is go up to these terminals, kiosks, press F as always. And you can see, obviously, because we're a starter package, we've only got our one ship in here. I've got the Aurora. I hate this ship so much. I kind of wish I had started this account with a cutter. It's just personal preference. You might love the ship, and that's cool. So to get our ship, we're going to hit deliver, okay? Request delivery, yes, we're going to do that. And it's going to be ready to go. So now when we press retrieve, that ship is now going to be loaded into our hangar. And this is where I want to talk to you a little bit about hangars and how they work. Because they work a little differently depending on what hangar you're in. Okay, so now that we know the ship's loaded into our hangar, you can actually see, you see the blue writing there, this here. So that's literally where our physical ship and our hangar is. And to get there, we're going to then go through one of these elevators, okay? So again, hit the elevator. Just watch it pop up. I'm also going to show you what I suggest you do when you first get into your ship, as opposed to, oh my gosh, man, this is a little dodgy. Some guys down here. Okay, so here we're going to look for, this is my hangar, Blitzedky's small hangar. We're going to click that. The hangar size is determined by the largest ship that you own. All right, there's our ship and our hangar. Before we get into the ship, I'm going to show you how this hangar sort of works. So let's talk a little bit about this. Because we chose New Babbage as our home location when we set up the game for the first time, the hangar that we're in right now is persistent, meaning that if I, for example, let's just go into my inventory. If I were to take my helmet off, okay, and I were to drop it by, I'm just dragging my helmet and I'm dropping it down to this little hand. You can see it down there. Okay, now my helmet, it's been put into a box. It's on the floor. Okay, let's come out. You can now see that physically in this hangar, right? If we were to now log out of the game, assuming there was no bugs, this helmet would still be here when we came all the way back down from our hab, went through all of the metro station, blah, 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 and we came back down into here. This helmet would still be sitting here on this hangar floor because this is our home that we chose the first time. Now, if we were to fly to another planet, let's say Area 18, and we were to change that to our home base, anything we left in that hangar would not persist. It would still be this one back here. You would now spawn in that new location because you've chosen it as your home, but this is still your true home, like where your stuff is stored and everything like that. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. It certainly will once you started playing for a little bit. Anyways, we're going to pick this up. This is actually right here. So we're going to Why can't we pick it up? All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna hit I. More bugs. Awesome. So this definitely can happen sometimes. Luckily, everywhere we're going, we don't actually need a helmet right now because we're not going to a surface or planet that doesn't have oxygen. I haven't actually encountered bugs like this in a while. Usually, you'd be able to just literally click this, drag it, put it either onto your into your backpack, and then reapply it to yourself. But for some reason, we can try. So we hit 5. We're gonna draw the tractor beam. Okay. We're gonna aim at it and try and pick it up. So we can pick it up, which is interesting. Let's see if that's rejogged it into being usable again. Yes, it has. Okay, so the F has now appeared. So I do believe that when we go back into I, we try and pick this up. It's still not really working. Okay, let's try and do F. So I'm holding F. I'm now gonna right click on my mouse and I'm gonna press equip. And boom, it's equipped. Okay, so we had a little bug there, but we found a workaround, which is just something you have to get used to in Star Citizen. By the way we called up our ship from that terminal upstairs is one way to do it. You can also just come straight down to your hangar. It would then be empty. You have a terminal right over here. You could call your ship up from here, and you'd actually physically see the ship rising up from the hangar floor and then loading in here, which is it's a really cool visual. And it's a feature that was actually only recently introduced into the game this past year. Over here, of course, you have more terminals to access your storage from the spaceport. We don't need to worry about that right now. So with that being said, let's get out of here and go have some fun on some planets. So you can see on your ship, there's some writing that tells you where things are. This ship's pretty basic, so all we actually have here is our hatch. We're gonna press F to open. Steps come down. We're gonna hop on in. Oh, we don't actually really have any storage. We could probably fit a container in here. This is another reason why I just would not recommend. I don't think this ship has any external storage. Let's just check real quick. I don't think it does. No, it's a pretty terrible ship. I really don't recommend getting the ship. I seriously regret getting it, but whatever. We'll work our way up to getting a better ship in no time. Well, in a little bit of time. So, sorry, there I just hovered over the seat and again pressed F to enter. That animation is kind of automatic, and now we are in our ship. Now, when you get in your ship, nothing really happens because the ship is not turned on. So let's just walk through how to turn it on. There are 2 ways. The keyboard shortcut is U, the letter U, turns on your systems. There we go. You can also hold F, look around, and you will find power options, right? And sometimes they're buggy like this where you can't really read the writing too well, which is super annoying. I'm just, by the way, to zoom in like that, I'm just scrolling on my mouse while holding F, okay? So here's the power on and off. So we turn the power off here. You know, if you want that sort of real game immersion where you're physically kind of having to do stuff in game, then not use your keyboard, then this is the way to do that. So we're turning it on, and we'll turn our engines on now. So the ship is on, but we don't actually have any power to our engines. I'm not going to go through all of this stuff right now because it's going to be a bit overwhelming, I think. But you don't need to know too much about what's going on here to get going. You will need to learn it over time, especially as you start entering more game loops and PvP, etc. So now we powered on over here. We're turning our engines on right here. Hopefully. Engines on. For some reason, that is not working. Okay, so the shortcut on your keyboard for engines on is I. Oh, so I actually did turn them on. It just didn't give me the prompt, so turning them back on now. So our engines are on, which means we can now take off. But before we take off, we need to call air traffic control, if you like, and ask them for permission to leave our hangar because the hangar door is closed. So there are multiple ways to do that. I'm going to teach you the kind of easiest way, which is to press F11 on your keyboard. It's going to bring up this interface. You're going to head over to the Friends tab, and you're going to see New Babbage International Spaceport. We're just going to click that. We have now been given access. Hangar request completed, and our hangar door is opening. Awesome. We're on our way. Okay, so let's go over some basic flight controls using keyboard and mouse. By the way, to switch views, if you prefer like a third-person view when you're flying, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend it for PvP encounters because you really need to be able to see, your pip. So F4 will give you this sort of third-party view. While you're in F4, if you hold Z and move your mouse, you're going to be able to move around the ship without the ship moving from moving your mouse, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a free view. And wherever you leave it, that's where it's going to be every time, right? I don't know if there's a shortcut to actually just reset that. I always just do it manually like this, okay? Heading back into the cockpit view. So to launch off the pad, you're going to hit spacebar, which basically thrusts your ship upwards, okay? Now we can see we're thrusted upwards. And I'm going to go back in now. So same thing again. WASD is to kind of move around on that sort of one plane. So forward W, backwards S, left A, right D, just like that. Okay, pretty simple. I would definitely just move around a little bit so you can get a feel for your ship as you're doing this. You can also use Q and E to roll your ship, okay? Like that. And then, of course, with your mouse, you actually kind of have like full directional control in terms of where your ship is looking. You can't move your ship with the mouse in terms of thrust, but you can change its direction. So because we've been waiting here so long, our hangar doors are now closing. You do need to kind of get out once you're gone, so we're just going to wait for them. What we'll do is we'll call ATC again. No. Okay, we're just going to have to wait for the animation to close. A few more things we're going to go over flight-wise. So let's just land while we're here, okay? So I told you space was to kind of lift the ship up from the ground. Now we're going to hit control or hold control to land. I'm going to put it into a different view so you can see this as we do it. I'm going to just shift around here too so you can see this in action. So as we hold and kind of gently tap on control, we're moving the ship down and it's going to land nicely. When you're in the ship, you will usually hear takeoff complete, and you're going to hear... You're not going to hear landing complete, but it usually says landing complete. Okay, let's get this door open again real quick. Friends, spaceport, comms open. Sometimes this can take a while. You might be in a queue because obviously there are a lot of players and only a certain amount of hangars. So you might all be in a hangar, almost the same hangar, but you won't see that person, or like parallel universe kind of thing. And you'll be waiting for them to get out before ATC gives you the ability to go out. Okay, so we're going to take off, and now we're going to move forward out of the hangar. And we're out into the world. All right. So you'll notice now while you're holding forward, your ship is moving pretty damn slow. And the reason why, it's because your landing gear is down, right? So in order to retract that landing gear, we're going to actually hit N on the keyboard. Our landing gear is going to go up. And now when we press forward, we're going to move significantly faster, right? Now we're kind of picking up speed here. So on the left right here, we can see our speed. This is kind of our thrust level. Over here is our boost level. I'm going to show you boost now. So to use boost, you go in the direction you want to go, and then you just hold shift, and we're going to boost forward. And you can see that boost bar right over here is going down, right? And eventually it's going to run out. When you get into the red, it can cause thruster problems. So you kind of want to drop off before you hit the red, let it recharge. So we're just going to stop. Remember, your ship's going to have momentum at this point, so really you need to be careful, especially at space stations. It's really easy when you first get into this game to crash into space stations because you just haven't kind of learnt your ship and how it moves. All right, so you can see the boost is now rising again. Good stuff. Epic. Okay. So there are also different flight modes to be in. Right now, we are in SCM mode, which is basically kind of like your PvP mode, for lack of a better word. Essentially, you have access to your guns, your shields, and everything like that. So you can't fire right now because we're in an armored zone, which just means that this is a zone where you're not allowed to fire. Once we got into space, you would be able to left-click your mouse, and that would fire your weapons. Right-clicking also goes you into like a super targeted mode, which we'll get into in another video. Right now, though, we actually want to leave the planet. And to do that, I recommend going into our quantum mode, our travel mode, right? So to do that, we're going to hold B. Sorry, it's called nav mode. So you can see right down here now, we're now in nav mode, which gives us access to our quantum engines. Now, what we want to do is, if you look up, you should be able to see the space station. Where is it? Okay. Do a quicker way of finding the space station. So if we want to get to a destination, we're going to hit F2. That's going to bring up our star map. Now, this probably needs a whole video dedicated to it and how to use it, but basically, you can move around the star map on a vertical plane, X, Y, and Z axis, or sorry, X and Y axis, by holding your right mouse button and just moving around. You can zoom in and out by using your scroll wheel, okay? So we can go all the way out. This is the planet on Microtech, surrounded by moons. It's on its own ring here, and then obviously we can go to other places, right? The maps are actually huge. And then we've got even further. This is the other new star system, Pyro. To get to Pyro, though, is a whole other thing, which maybe we'll dabble into later in the video if we have time. Let's see. So we're just zooming back in here. This is the center of the system. We want to go to our location, Microtech. We're going to double-click it. That's going to take us into this overview. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because I want to go to the space station that is orbiting the perimeter of Microtech, which is the planet which New Babbage, our home location, is set to. By the way, you can also rotate in a 3D space by left-clicking and then just moving around like this, okay? So Port Tressler is in orbit above the planet, as you can kind of see in this angle right here. This is us right here on New Babbage, and we just have to go a short distance out of atmosphere to Port Tressler, which is a space station. What I would actually recommend doing is setting your home once you've gotten here. We're going to do this to Port Tressler right now. Eventually, you might want more access to your persistent hangar back in New Babbage, but for now, this is going to make things quicker and easier every time you log into the game. So we're just going to click Port Tressler. You can see we've selected it over here. Here it tells you the various services and amenities that are available at Port Tressler. Do the same for anywhere else that you clicked. We're going to click Route. So that's going to give us a directional route from where we are to Port Tressler. So now we come back out of our map. The only thing that's highlighted here now, you see that red circle, is the space station. So nothing else, all the other things that were up here before have gone. So we're going to head towards that by going out of atmosphere. We're going to boost, get there as quick as we can. Now, as you can see over here, this is our altitude. We need to get to a certain altitude out of atmosphere before we can use our quantum drive to get to Port Tressler. So you'll see at a certain distance, I think it's about 10,000 kilometers, something like that, this Port Tressler symbol will go from red to blue, meaning that it's now ready to use your quantum drive. So you can see there it's gone. Over to the left there, our quantum drive is spooling. It's complete. When it says ready like that and gone green, all you have to do is maintain direction, left click on your mouse. Boom, we just quantum drove to Port Tressler. Obviously, that was super quick, super short, super fast because it wasn't very far away. When you're doing sort of like cross-planetary travel, it's going to take a lot longer. So now I'm just moving towards Port Tressler. If we tap tab, we're going to scan, and you'll be able to see it more clearly, especially when it's on this side of the planet where it's kind of dark. So you see how quickly we're approaching here. And it can be really difficult to control your ship, so I suggest, really taking your time with this. Just kind of tap on the forward button, momentum, until you get a feel for how fast your ship's moving and how quickly it stops. There are brakes on the ship, so if you hold X, you're going to engage your brakes. But even they don't slow down immediately. It still takes some time, right? Now that we're in range of the space station, we need to do the same thing we did when we exited the spaceport down in New Babbage. So we're going to tap F11, go to our friends, and you can see here Port Tressler. We're going to ask Port Tressler to give us access to it. So do that. Boom. Okay, hangar request complete. And you can see over there in the blue, Blitzedky's hangar, Blitzedky Dangerous hangar. So we are now going to head over there. So I'm using a combination of everything we did before, thrusters, up, down, left, right. I'm moving with my mouse. I'm rolling a little bit here and there. And that's how we're going to get to our hangar. It looks like this one. By the way, if you tap L, you're going to bring up your ship's lights. Now, the distance is too far away for them to actually do much right now. As we get closer, though, you're going to see those interacting with the space station. So what I like to do is once I get pretty close, like this, I'm not used to using my mouse and keyboard. I'm usually using my sticks. I'm going to hit my landing gear, which was going to automatically slow my ship down. We're actually upside down right now, so we're going to rotate around, and now we are the right orientation. And we're going to slowly make our way. If you go too slow, though, we are going to risk... I'm going to boost just gently. We are going to risk the doors closing on us, so we don't want that to happen. I would be very careful about boosting unless you're used to doing it, because you will crash. So we're entering into the hangar here on the space station. We're going to stop. Let's switch camera views real quick here so we can see the landing. And control to lower the ship. Let's go back in so we can hear it. All right, so now you know you've landed. Every time you land your ship and you're going to get out of your ship, let's turn off the lights here by pressing L. I don't know why that's not working. Oh, there we go. Seems to be a bit of lag in the game right now. You want to turn off your engines when you land. You can leave your ship running. In fact, if we come out of nav mode by pressing B again, you'll see that our shields are regenerating, right? Now, this doesn't matter because you're inside a hangar and you're safe. But if you were landing on a planet, you would definitely want your shields to be up and generated, because when you leave your ship, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for someone to access it or shoot it and do damage to it. But we can turn our engines off, right? Turning our engines off means that people cannot access the ship by just opening the door. But you can leave the power on, which leaves your shields up. To leave the seat, we're just going to hold Y. Okay, that's going to enter the animation of us leaving the seat. And there we go. Press F here to open the door. And we are out into the new hangar. So we've now traveled to the spaceport, okay? Awesome. Now, what we're going to do here real quick is just head up. We don't need to store our ship because we're actually going to come back down to this hangar and use it. Actually, let's store it just so you can see the process. So we're going to a terminal. You can see here, just press store. And the ship is now being ported down into the abyss, where it magically goes with all the other ships. All right. Our ship is now stored. I do not recommend jumping down there. You will not get back up, and you will likely die. Ship stored. We're going to head up into the space station real quick. So the space station is where I recommend you set your home for the time being. I'm going to go to lobby here. It just is going to make starting the game, you know, like look at everything we've just gone through. We've been playing now for I don't even know how long. It's been a while. We haven't really achieved anything yet, right? The game does take a while to kind of get things going. So by setting your home up here, it's going to make things a lot quicker because there's less journeying from your hab to the spaceport. So to change your home, you're going to find the medical clinic, which in space stations is always as soon as you get in, basically. We're going to go over to, where is it in here? Right here. Okay. The regeneration terminal. Press F. And we're going to transfer our imprint. So that's saying, hey, I want to transfer from New Babbage to this medical facility so that when I die, I'm going to wake up in this medical hospital. And also, when I log into the game and spawn, I'm going to spawn in this space station. Confirm. And that has been done. Easy as that, okay? Now, later on in the game, you're going to actually have ships, if you purchase them, that have their own medical bays inside of them. And you can actually set your spawn to your ship, so that when you die, if you're out on the field, you'll just spawn right back into your ship, which is awesome. Okay, so now we've done that, we can pretty much get back into our ship and go down to a planet, and I'm going to show you what I would do if I was just starting off, wanting to get a little bit of gear and stock up on some things without having to pay for them, because right now we don't have a lot of money. We don't want to be spending money if we have to. So anyways, I'm not going to show you around the space station. There's basically places to buy weapons here, stuff like that. We should actually stock up on some food and drink. Now, again, my previous character had a bug, which I might just show you now to see if it's working on this account. So it used to be that if I drank a drink, actually, we got to take our helmets off to drink, obviously. So we're going to store that in our backpack, or what the hell? Oh my God. My guy is just like all over the place. There's definitely some desync happening here. My helmet's still on, so I'm just gonna come out of this. Now, usually I just press Alt-H and that would take your helmet off. Oh, it has. Okay, perfect. So that drink now should be still in our hands. I'm gonna just look down. Oh, I don't think it is. Oh, it's down there. Okay. Is that mine? I don't think it is. I'm gonna pick this up, and we're just gonna left click to drink. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to place it. Hang on. I think this is ours here. Carry. Oh, why is it letting me place? Okay, whatever. Picking a drink, and now we're going to drink it. No, we're not. Okay, let's do it. Now let's see if I black screen of death. Oh my god, it's working. Music to my eyes. So before, my other account, if I drank anything, I would just immediately basically get incapacitated and have to restart the game, which was super frustrating. Usually when you're going out on like a little adventure or whatever, you're going to want to stack up on some drinks, take them with you, because you will get dehydrated over time and you're going to need to drink. Anyways, we don't need to worry about that right now. We're going to put our helmet back on by Alt-H. Helmet is back on. You can tell your helmet's on because the map changes in the top left corner. So if you look, take the helmet off. Take the helmet off. Oh my god, it's like when I want to show you something, it doesn't work. It'll probably take it off in like 10 minutes time, while I'm out in space. It's fine. Essentially, your helmet gives you access to a more advanced version and HUD of your map. So we're going to retrieve our ship here again. All right, and now we're going to head down. You can use any one of these elevators, right? They're all going to take you to the same spot. So, well, some of them might take you to your death, depending on how Star Citizen's feeling that day. But call elevator, elevator called. Whoa! Oh my god, we almost dropped through that. Okay, we're going to scroll down, find my hangar. Oh my god. So this is another bug that I've encountered. I will click on my hangar, and it'll always take me to pad 4. And the only way, my ship is obviously not here, the only way to get out of this, I found, is to just go into a different elevator. Don't do what I did and keep trying to press this and keep having to go back down to pad 4. It doesn't seem to work, so come out. These are the kind of frustrations that, you know, people are feeling from Star Citizen on a daily basis, which is why... Okay, there we go. That seems to have worked. It's definitely a frustrating game. There's no doubt about it. But again, it just depends on like what you're wanting from a game, right? Like, if you need like instant gratification from a game, Star Citizen's probably not for you, because there are just way too many frustrations here. I don't know why ships come up at such a weird angle. That is odd. Anyways, can I get in this side? Yeah. But for me, like, I enjoy the process as much as I enjoy the actual game loops. By game loops, I mean like mining, salvaging, bunker running. There's some PvP areas and contested zones. Like, I enjoy all that stuff, but I also enjoy the process of, you know, building up to that too. So for that reason, I think this game works for me. So as you remember, last time we turned our engines off. We're going to turn them back on now. Engines are now on. How well can you hear my gameplay? Yeah, it seems like it's coming out okay. Okay, so again, hangar doors. Same process every time. You can hotkey all this, by the way. Like, I have all of this hotkey to my joysticks. So I'm just pressing a button. I don't have to go through these menus every single time. Although sometimes I enjoy doing it. It's part of the game, right? So that's being called. I can hear them opening. We're going to launch. We're going to spin around here. Whoa. I really hate using mouse. I hate using mouse because it's just my preference, and I've gotten used to using sticks now for so long. However, there are a lot of people that will tell you, like, I know some PvP players that are just insane with mouse and key. Oh my god, here we go. So I'm gonna see. I think it's open. Yeah, okay. Let's get out of here before it bugs out on us. We're gonna raise our landing gear by pressing N. I only went fast then with my landing gear down because I was boosting at the same time, which the boost will ignore your landing gear for the duration of the boost, right? And then you'll go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're in SMC mode, so we can fire, right? That's our weapon system. You do that just by hitting left click on your mouse. But we're gonna change into nav mode again, so we're gonna hold B. We're in nav mode. Now we can see, right now we have the spaceport targeted, right? So that's all we can see. So to do that, we're just gonna come back into our map by pressing F2. We are going to cancel that quantum mapping that we did earlier and exit out of here. Now, when we look down, you can see all these other pips have sort of like emerged, right? Now, if we actually boost down to Microtech, the planet, It'll take us down just above atmosphere. So we're going to do that real quick. Show you why. Quantum boosting. All right. Now we can see a lot more pips because we're in range of those pips. So you can see Microtech Logistics Depot, all of these different locations you can go down to. You could actually free fly down to them if you wanted to, but that's not what we're going to do. I actually want to go to the mining facility. There's a lot of these. We're going to pick one here. I'll show you why. There's some basic looting that you can do without any risk of being PvP'd or anything like that, which right now is good because we don't really have the ship to be dealing with that or the equipment on us to be getting into any PvP battles. So we're just quantum driving right now. Just check this view out here. Like, I don't even think I have my graphics turned all the way up right now, and honestly, this game just looks insane. I think this is what like keeps people around, to be honest. It's just like, what do they call it? Screensaver sim. It's basically the game. No, it's not. There's a lot more to it than that. But look at that. It's pretty insane. All right. As soon as we get 24 kilometers out, there we go. We're now out of quantum travel. Just reorient ourselves. We want to head through the atmosphere towards the Shubin mining facility here. And you can see right below the title where it says in red, Shubin mining facility, SMO 13, the distance it is away from us. So it's going down pretty quick. We don't want to get into a position where we're going so fast we can't stop and we go straight into the planet. We can also see again to our right, the kilometers dropping. We want to keep an eye on that. We can use tab to get a clear sense of where the ground is in relation to us. Oh, we're actually coming in hot. I'm going to see if I slow down too quickly, you'll see I go red. You can actually pass out from the G-force. So we're going to do now, just out of habit, you can see that KM9594KW. That's actually another player's ship. Likely they're not going to bother us, though. In fact, I don't think they can because this is in a zone where you cannot fire. So I'm going to go into SMC mode just so that my shields start going up. It also slows you down slightly. You can travel faster in quantum mode and nav mode. See, I can definitely see a ship there on the launch pad, right? Let's see what it is. We have a Zeus, really cool ship. So we're actually here for these little buildings off to the side, okay? We're going to raid those buildings. There's another ship down here. So we're going to land. I'm actually going to land off the pad because these pads are really there for cargo missions. So you can pull cargo up here, load them onto your ship. We're not doing that, and I don't want to get in someone's way who is doing it. So I'm going to deploy my landing gear to slow my ship down. I'm just going to pop over to the side here. I'm going to come out into this view, and we're just going to land kind of off to the side here somewhere, okay? Perfect. A little heavy on landing. Press I. Disable my engines. Now my shields will remain on. My ship will remain on, but my engines are off, so no one can hijack my ship, basically. Pressing Y to exit, as we did before. Now, Microtech has atmosphere and breathable air, so you don't actually need a helmet, but it's good habit to have one. So we're going to go into each one of these buildings, not the big ones over there because they're not things that you can actually access, they're just cargoes. We're going to go into here. We're going to cycle this airlock. I feel like this one might be just... Oh, yeah. So I think this is a bug. It's like the... turn on. So your ship lights are L, your helmet lights are T, okay? I think this one's bugged because the lights are all off. But we're just going to see if there's anything to loot in here. Doesn't look like there is. I think the bugged ones don't carry loot. If anyone is playing the game and knows the game, could someone confirm if this is actually a bug or is this, I don't know, just like, oh yeah, some of them are offline. I don't know. Okay, so there's nothing in here. I've never found any loot in the ones that are off. You can tell they're off because the lights are on. The lights are off as soon as you walk in, right? Turn up our light here. Okay, we're gonna skip that one. By the way, I should have done this. You want to make sure your door, I think these close automatically, but some ships don't. When you leave your ship, always close the door. Other players can't just open the door of your ship. They'd have to shoot it in order to get the door open, which gives you more time. So this one, lights are on, as you see, as you can walk in, so this one should be good. Doesn't mean there's going to be loot inside. Just means there's at least a chance there will be. Recycling. Gonna enter here, and we're just looking around for containers like this. Okay, so you're gonna come over it. It says loot. Tap F. It's gonna bring up this menu. This is like the new loot menu, which is really handy if you just want to quickly grab things, right? But I want to do is actually expand it. I just prefer this menu, especially when you're looting more stuff. So we're actually gonna grab some little bits here, like these drinks. They're not worth anything. They're easy to buy, but why would you buy them when we could just get them for free here, right? Some food here if you want to eat food. I wouldn't bother with this kind of stuff. You can sell it, but it's not really worth doing, I don't think. Okay, so let's go move on forward. You know that they're lootable because the F will come up, and you'll also just get used to knowing what they look like, right? So it doesn't look like there are any more lootable boxes in this space. There is an undersuit here, which we're gonna hover over it, and I'm gonna loot it because let's see what it is. Oh, I'm not gonna loot it. It's not gonna let me. Let's hit I. I've stood the old school way. Move around here so we can see it. I'm just gonna drop this into my. No, I'm not. It's not gonna let me. All right, maybe we're not. We won't bother with it. Let's check this room. Jesus. Yep, none of these are lootable. Haven't missed anything here. Let's check this room. All right, this is what we want. The red box is the more valuable one. So I'm gonna loot this red box. And this is why they're valuable. This is what we want. Free armor, okay? This would cost you like a couple thousand in UC. We get it for free here. So we're gonna drop it over into our personal storage if it freaking lets us. Why is this? Oh my God. Okay, we want our backpack on. I'm gonna drag this over to our backpack. There we go. This armor does take up a lot of space, so you're gonna usually have to run back to your ship when you get it. What we should have done is picked up a loot box, which I stupidly forgot to get. And you can get those from the space station cargo terminals, which we will go over shortly. Leg armor, yeah, we don't want that. So we're already at 82% capacity. We could drop this stuff into our ship, but because of how buggy items have been since we logged in, I'm not convinced that's a good idea. Let's just see what else we can grab here real quick. Did we go into this room? I think we did, right? Yeah. I think it's just this end room down here. Sometimes I found that new boxes actually spawn like while I'm inside, so it's always worth just checking. See anything else here? We already looted this one. Go check one more, but because we're at capacity already, what we're gonna need to do is drop some of this stuff off. Excuse me. Ah, God damn it. Why? Here we go. Nothing. So exciting. Sometimes you come in here and there's like red box after red box and you get a ton of stuff. Sometimes like this, there's just next to nothing in here. Nothing in here is lootable, unfortunately. I don't know if there was another building. Let's just have a quick look. There's that over there. We've been into all of these. Is there anything over this side? I don't think there was. I think that's everything. Unfortunately, that one was bugged. It's just cargo buildings over here. Tempted to see about this ship because this ship's been here for a while. Oh. I have a feeling this player is not here, which means we could loot the ship. Oh, we don't have a gun to access it though, and likely his engines are off. So like I said, when you try and access this, it's not going to actually work, right? So if we fired at this back door here, it would eventually open for us, and we could steal from that person. That is called pirating, which is frowned upon by some, and not by others. I don't care either way. I wouldn't say either of those. Like, I like to keep myself open for both game loops, whether it's pirating or being a lawful citizen, as it were. I really wish there was some storage in here that would make this a lot easier. What we're gonna do though is, I've shown you the basics, right? Now, what you could do, if you had a storage container, which you could place in here, you could then add those items that you just looted, take them from your backpack, put them into your storage container, hop around to another location, do the same thing, rinse and repeat, fill up that container. Then you would drop it back to the space station and store it. And that's kind of, I'm just going to show you how to do that right now because that's really the next step. After we've done that, I can see what mission we can do. Can we do like a box run or something? All right, so engine's on, launch it up. We don't need to ask access right now because we're not in a hangar, right? So anytime you need to ask for permission is when you're in a hangar, you need doors to open for you. Landing gear up, and we're going to go straight into nav mode by pressing and holding B. We're going to hit F2 to bring up our map. We're going to locate the space station. Where are you? It's going to be Port Tressler right here. So we can find it like this. We can also go into the search and just type Port Tressler. There it is. Click it. Boom. We're going to root it. And there we go. F2 to close. Now, actually, let me just show you that real quick because that's something that's interesting. So you can see that the route that is chosen for us is kind of going all over the place. The reason why is that we're blocked by the planet. We couldn't quantum jump to there because we'd be QTing through the planet. We don't do that. So it's going to take us to an OM station. Okay. I can't remember what orbitary marker, orbit marker. So it's going to take us to an orbital marker up here. And then we're going to jump from there to another orbital marker here. And then we're going to enter the station from there. So there's a total of 3 jumps to get to the station, but they're all really quick because obviously we're not far away, right? So that's why that looks the way it does. So obviously to get to the first orbital marker, we still need to exit the atmosphere. So that's what we're going to do. We're boosting out of here. We're keeping an eye on our how much boost we have left, and we're waiting for this to punch blue. Drop off the boost so we don't overboost. You can see disable an atmosphere. Okay, now we're out of atmosphere. We're calibrating right over here. The way it calibrates is just by hovering over it for a certain amount of time, and now we're going to punch. Now that's the first marker. There's nothing here. It's just empty space. Now we're going to the second marker. Hover over it. Wait for our calibration to complete. And jump. Left mouse button. And there we see Port Tressler. It's our final jump. Hovering over it. Calibrating. And jump. So same process as last time. We're just going to head towards the station, keeping an eye on how fast we're going. We don't want to ram into the station. And actually, I'm going to come out of nav mode. SMC mode is just slightly, or sorry, SCM mode, slightly slower. A little bit more control. Once we get close enough, I'm going to show you something real quick, actually. If we hold F, go over to our menu here, we're going to scroll across this MFD until we can see the menu. Where is it? Where is it? Did I pass it? Guns. Why can I not see that menu? Weird. Maybe it's here. Contacts. Oh yeah, communications. I'm an idiot. So as we get closer, we're going to see Port Tressler pop up on our communications. At least we should. Okay, there you go. You can see it pop in there. So now we're going to hold F, move over here. We're going to hail Port Tressler, which is the same as us pressing F11, going into our friends list. It's a lot quicker way of doing it, right? So if I'm not in PvP and I don't need all these MFDs to be showing me shields and weapons and power consumption and all that stuff, I'll have one of these at contacts so that I can just quickly access that. Or I'll hotkey it to a, keybind it to something on my keypad or my sticks. So we've done that, but it hasn't actually opened up a gateway for us. So we're going to do it one more time. Oh, we're in last. Yeah, see up here. Join hangar queue. Basically, it means it's busy right now. A lot of people are doing the same thing. So we're just waiting for that to pop. So we're just going to hover around a little bit. And eventually, it will give us a hangar, dedicate us a hangar. second. Guys, also, again, I know I'm not going to be getting too many people watching this live because this is my first stream. I'd be surprised if I get any people watching it live. But I really would appreciate it if you consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'd love to be creating more content like this. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button, man. Do it. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Pop that down. Okay, so our hanger has come up now. We're going to pop over to that real quick. Just deployed my landing. Oh, is it on the other side? Oh my God, it is. Okay, let's come out of landing gear. And I've just lost the thing. Okay, so we have to hail him again because I wasted too much time there. Maybe he'll give us the same one. Almost. Over the other side here. So there's hangars on both sides of this part of the station. There we go. See, the doors are opening. Put our landing gear down, slow the ship down, give us a bit more control as we come in. Again, using control to thrust down, space to thrust up, WASD to move around, and our mouse just to point. Okay, once we get into here, our landing gear's already down, so we're just gonna press control, tap it gently until we land. Engines off, I. Press Y, exit ship. Ugh. Boom. So we're back up here. As you can see, if press I, all that stuff we looted is still in our backpack. I know it's kind of highlighted blue like this. It's just like a little bug right now, but it is there and it is accessible. So what we could do is we can go over to our... We've got no reason to wear that armor right now. The stuff we've got is perfectly fine for what we're doing. But we can just now put this over into our local inventory, right? So we're just gonna, I'm holding shift and clicking once, and that's moving it all over. We'll keep the food and stuff in there just in case we need it, but 5%, that's fine. Coming out of there. All right, awesome. Now, what we're gonna do is actually, we're gonna store the ship real quick. You don't need to store it, but just with how buggy things have been, I'm just kind of playing things safe and storing it. Store ship. Okay, ship's going down, and now we're going to head up into the space station again. Just going to get a drink here, 2 seconds. All right, missed the elevator, awesome. Heading back up to lobby. So now I'm going to, we're going to go grab a storage container. How much money do we have down here in the bottom? We have 15,000. Not a whole lot, but we should have enough to at least pick up one SCU for sure. All right, so we're going to head to the lifts inside. So these are different than the lifts that take us down to our hangar. These are lifts that are in the station that take us to different levels of the station. Sounds confusing, but you'll get it pretty quickly. So right now we're in hangars and habs. That's our location. We want to go to, actually I think we can go to gallery to get the things. Gallery is sort of like the shopping plaza. It's a really quick elevator ride. And we are looking for Platinum Bay. I believe they're sold here. So Platinum Bay actually sells ship components, which we are not getting into right now. It's a whole other part of the game. But I believe they sell. I don't know why I think they sell them here, but let's just check. Categories, propulsion utility. Yeah, this is what we want. These storage containers. So I think we're just going to get a 1 SCU for now. It's 2K price. We're going to quick buy it. Again, that's going to go to our main inventory on this space station. So that's all we really need, I think. I don't think we need anything else right now. I'm going to show you how to get at hangars and habs. That's where our hangar is. So now we go to our inventory here. Local inventory on this station. Again, this local inventory is not going to show you the stuff that's on the new Babbage home station that we first logged into. That stuff is still going to be there at that station, right? This is just local, as in we're in this space station. So we can see the armor that we just dropped off, as well as the crate that we just picked up. Now, you could take this crate out here, but I would not recommend it. It'll probably bug out, potentially even kill you. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our hangar. We're going to yeah, we'll bring our ship up anyways just to get that started because it's a long animation. And then we're going to hope that it doesn't take us to pad 4, which I guarantee it will. Nope. Awesome. Sweet. Let's see here. Okay, so our ship's been called up. Again, we could come to our inventory and you'll see there's the container again. We could drop it out here and it would drop into it. And you'd probably be okay, but instead of doing that, let's do it the way you're supposed to do it, which is to actually come over to here to the freight elevator, okay? So this is a freight elevator. And over to the left of that, there's a console. We're gonna hit the console. Now you can see our inventory over here as well. We're gonna drop the elevator so you can see it closing, dropping, right? Once that animation is complete, we now have access to this stuff. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave our armor here. We don't want that right now. We're gonna grab this container, put it onto the elevator floor, and then raise the elevator back up, okay? Okay. So let's come over here. We can see that coming up. And boom, there's our crate, okay? Much safer way of doing things. Now to move this crate, you can't lift it up, it's too heavy. That's where our nifty tractor beam comes in. We're gonna bring that out. Remember, you have to have the tractor attachment on the tractor beam as well, or a tractor tool, utility tool. Can't find my words right now. Just so nervous. Okay, we're gonna bring that over. I'm really hoping this fits on this ship. If it doesn't, well, no worries. We'll just move away from it. So we open the hatch. Like this ship is not designed to have. Oh, that's gonna be tight. Not designed to have anything on it, but I'm just. Oh, it's not gonna fit. Okay. So usually what I would do, I would put that on my ship. I'd bring it with me, and then I would transfer any gear I had into that. But that's not gonna happen. This is why, guys, just don't get this ship. It's a piece of crap. Like all starter ships, in my opinion, should have like just the smallest amount of cargo hold. Am I like, I'm not like missing something, am I? Is there like a stupid external cargo? There isn't. It's just a garbage ship. Don't get the ship. It's called the Aurora. Stay away from it. Okay, what that means is we need to find... Oh, by the way, this hangar, as I mentioned before, even though it's our current home location, it's not persistent. So if I left this box just laying around in the hangar, it would not be there when I came back. So we want to store this so that it remains in the station and we have access to it and don't just lose it. You see as well, this will snap to the grid, right? Whenever you'll have these on your ship too. Well, assuming you don't have the shitty Aurora. Snap that to the grid. Come over here. Boom. Oh, okay, now we're going to lower this back down. And you can see it's automatically put it back into our storage. We're good. It's safe. We don't need to worry about it. To holster your weapon, by the way, just hold R. Okay, so 5 brings it up. R brings it down. Your pistol is 1. No, it's not. It's 2. No, it's not. It's 3. You can fire in your hangar too. This is a great little pistol, by the way. Crazy. Again, holster it. We don't have anything in 1 or 2, our primary weapons, because we don't own any primary weapons yet, nor do we need them. All right, let's do our first actual mission, at least hopefully. F2. Or I press F2 just because it brings up this, F1, sorry. Contracts, okay. We want to go to offers. Let's do we not have any box runs? What can we do that's super easy? Hauling. We can't do hauling because we don't have a ship. We could rent a ship. Bounty hunting we could do. 151k. Damn. I think if there's a mercenary mission, yeah, we're gonna try this with just a pistol, which I would not advise, but hey, it's fun. Okay, so, and we don't have any storage, so we can't even loot anything, but whatever. We'll still get 37k for completing it. Also, here's a really good little bonus tip for you. These mercenary missions, so what this is, it's a security contract. We're going to go down to a planet bunker. We're going to secure the bunker by killing any enemies inside of it, and then that's it. We get our money. But we can also accept call to arms, which will give us, I think it's like, okay, 500 UEC per outlaw that we kill within this bunker. So that adds up pretty quick, right? Definitely worth taking, especially this early in the game. Just because we've collected that now, we don't want to track that. We want to make sure we're tracking the actual mission, which we are. So that's good. Anyways, let's get out of here. We really should get a gun, but this will be way more fun. Actually, how much ammo do I have? Do I even have any? Wait. Oh my god, I don't have a lot of ammo. But, you know what? Okay, if we're going to do this, we should get a gun. Let's quickly do this, real quick. So I'm not even going to store a ship, screw it. If it goes, it goes. I'm going to go back up here real quick. Let's hope we can just run through this real quick. I'm not going to explain what I'm doing now. We've done this enough times. By the way, as I said at the beginning of the stream, if you're sort of debating whether or not you want to play the game, you gotta understand the state that it's in. It can be really fun. It can be problem-free, although that's rare. But it is an alpha, and it's going to be an alpha for a couple more years, I think, at least. So we're going to go to gallery here. And so, yeah, you just got to determine, is it something you want to put money into? Despite what most people think, you don't have to put hardly any money. You can pay the price of a regular sort of AAA game. In fact, even less, like 40 bucks USD is not the price of a AAA game, right? So you could do that. Fuck, where am I going? I don't want to go here.
How you doing?
I can't remember where anything is right now. My brain is fried. We just want to pick up a weapon. Yeah, 40 bucks will get you access to the game, give you a ship, although I wouldn't recommend getting the ship. Spend the extra $10 and get something with cargo. I really do recommend the cutter. If you're going to get a starter ship, get the cutter. It's awesome. It's a cool little ship. Oh my god, where is this shit? I can't remember where anything is in Port Tressor. My brain is just done. It's like, dude, stop playing video games. Go outside. We're not going to do that. Maybe I should. Where the hell is everything? Maybe I should watch some tutorials. Seriously. There is... Are you telling me there's not a weapons shop up here? Maybe there's not. Oh, wait. Here it is. Okay. This is like kind of one of the main weapon shops. Plus armor. We don't want to buy any armor like now. Like I said, we can get that for free. We'll pick up a weapon. We don't want anything too expensive. We just want something basic. Yeah, let's go for the P8. So, and I'm just going to buy one of them. And then we need P8 ammo. So I'm just going to go to the terminal here. You can buy things off the wall, but the terminal's just a lot more sensible. Categories, okay. We're going to go to personal weapons. We're going to change it to attachments, basically ammo. Actually, we're going to search P8 because that's the weapon we have, so it should bring up the ammo. P8, wait, do we have the P8 AR? Or do we have the P8? Oh, God. We have the SMG now. It is the SMG. P8 SMG. Okay. P8 SMG. Here we go. We're going to buy, let's get 10 rounds. 3.3 grand. Wait, no, we're down to 6 grand, so we definitely need to make some money now, which is exactly what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to now head back down to the hangar. Back in the elevator. hangers. Wow. Sorry, guys. Oh my God. Wait. Oh, we're here. We're here. Calm down, Rob. Did we leave our ship? Yes, we did. So our ship's still there. So because we haven't like left the space station and we haven't logged, even though this particular hangar is not persistent, the ship will stay there and be left there while we're sort of in this area, right? If we left the area, it would despawn and we'd have to claim the ship, which is a pain in the butt. Okay, so let's just go and load that stuff that we just bought. We've got our weapon, double click it. It's gonna put it on our backpack here. And our ammo, we're gonna double click a few times to put it on our body. You can see it spawning here. We'll max that out. It says 5, and the other 5 we're gonna put in our backpack. So game mechanics basically work where you'll reload from yourself first, which is quite quick. Once that runs out, you'll then reload from your backpack, which is a slower reload animation. So there's a penalty for that, I guess. Although I think you could transfer it to yourself. Well, you definitely could manually. I don't know if it does it automatically. Anyways, that's our gun sorted out. You can see this little symbol down here, by the way. This is our sustenance level. So we're at 98%, so we're good. If that goes down too low, we'll need to eat something in order to regain that. There's one for water as well, or liquids, I should say. Okay, we're gonna head down to that bunker now and do our first mission. You can see that yellow marker on my screen. That is where the bunker is located. That's where we need to go. We are gonna... I hate that this doesn't stay persistent. Port Trustler, hail. All right. Oh, engine's on. Press I. Good to go. I'm putting my landing gear up so we can just zoom on out of here. All right. Now we're going to go into nav mode, holding B again, like I said. And we want to point ourselves towards our target. Now, you can see that my jump or my quantum drive is not spooling on this target. The way to do that is to go into our map, F2. Zoom it. Oh, geez, not that much. Click the yellow dot, right? The yellow dot, yellow square, rectangle, diamond, whatever. We're going to route to it. And now that we've routed to it, we should... Oh, I know why. It's because it's not. We need to go to the OM point first. Oh, we need to go microtech first. We need to get closer to the planet. Kind of like I said before, right? When we first did our first jump. So we're going to go in towards the planet, and then we should be able to QT to it. There we go. And now we can jump straight to our mission area. Let's go. We're going to kill some She-Hot. So you got to be careful in these bunker missions. If you accidentally shoot a guard that's there protecting the zone, you're going to get a crime stat and end up in jail, and that is a massive pain in the butt. Okay, guys, we are back. Sorry about that. Let's get my headphones back on. I bought a surge projector the other day, and I think that it's not powerful enough to run the machines that I have, so we're going to have to upgrade that pretty soon, I think. Just getting logged back on here, and we will be good to go. Interesting to see. Where did we get to? We're in the hangar, so we should not have lost anything, hopefully. We're about to find out, though. Error. Oh, here we go. At capacity, please try again. So this is a known bug. Let's see if we can. We can't change. God damn it. That is super annoying. Okay, we're going to try a few things here. We're going to try and verify game files. Sometimes this is something you can do if you're having problems in Star Citizen. Verifying your game files might fix it. Probably not. Let me fix this. 2 seconds. There we go. All right, let's see if we can get this going. I've had endless problems. So I was setting up the stream, and I've got like a dual PC setup, so that we can keep the stream separate from the game, just so that I can have the game running as smoothly as possible. And I'm using the Razer Ripsaw in order to do that. And I have to say, it's been pretty damn terrible. So I'm thinking about switching it to like an Elgato actual PC card. Do it that way. Mind you, I say that it's been running smoothly for the last, hour and a half. So maybe I should cut it some slack. Come on, let's work. Ah, Jesus Christ. Star Citizen, man, I tell you. I'm not really sure if we're going to be able to continue the stream because this error code, this lobby code is a known thing. And because I can't choose the server, which it seems to have locked me to a specific server, I cannot get back into the game. So this is actually a great example as to why you might want to consider not purchasing the game right now. Having said that, I know like the team have just got back from vacation from the holidays, and I'm sure they're pretty hard at work resolving some of this. Before they went on vacation and we were on version 3.42 or whatever it was, these issues were not as prevalent. There were still issues, but people getting locked out of the game for like days on end didn't happen. One thing you can do if you have bought the game and this is happening to you, you can still go into Arena Commander and mess around with stuff like, you still fly your ships and stuff. You just can't, you're not in the open universe, right? What we can also try and do is completely quit the game. Sometimes it works. Not only quit the game, but also quit the launcher and relaunch that as well. But I don't have high hopes. 4.0 preview. Guys, like I said before, would love to hear any comments, feedback on the stream. How you think it went? Did you learn anything? Any tips, pointers, anything like that? Anything you want to see from Star Citizen specifically? I'm not necessarily only going to stream and make videos about Star Citizen, but I definitely, it's what I'm playing right now for sure. The fact that it's locked me to that, oh my God, yeah. So I think that's gonna call it quits for us. But yeah, the content of the channel is predominantly going to be Star Citizen based at this point, just because that's what I'm spending most of my time playing. Although if this stuff keeps happening, I might have to reevaluate that. Because obviously I can't play. Could log into my other account and try playing, but actually we could just try doing that, because that account will not be locked to a server. Log out. Give me a second. Let's see. If we log into this other account, the good thing about that is there's more of it I can show you, I guess, because it's not 0 to Hero. But I'm bummed because I really wanted to play 0 to Hero. Like I have, you know, I'm embarrassed to talk about how much money I've spent on Star Citizen over the years. It's more than I care, more than I like to think about. But sometimes I think just like starting from nothing and having nothing and just, you know, having to go through every game loop in order to get to a certain ship or whatever it is, so much more fun than just, you know, purchasing a ship on a store. Although, if you played as long as I have, that comes with its own fun, I guess. All right, let's see if this works now. All right, well, this looks like we are able to get in. Such a shame that other account was locked. Like, I don't know how long that could be locked for. I've heard people that had that error and couldn't get in for days, weeks. So we'll see. Depending on where I am, Everest Harbor, looks like I'm actually... Yeah, okay. We could still potentially get the same mission going. We are also in Q105, which is not great. This does kind of go down pretty quickly, though. So we'll see. We shall see. Need to get some music playing in the background, but I don't really know. I want to make sure I'm doing that legally. So why is my... Okay. There we go. Position 80. We're almost there. Not really. Q15. We are almost there. Let's get back into this, guys. I'm bored of waiting in queues. So bored. Honestly, I think like if you're watching this for the first time, you're probably like, man, I don't know. There's seems a little buggy. It is a little buggy for sure. But given that 4.0 was kind of dropped in a rush, in my opinion at least, it's actually in a pretty good state, I think. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I think it's in a pretty good state considering. And also considering how many like little hot fixes have been done over the holidays by like a skeleton crew at CIG, I think it bodes well for the month or so ahead and what's going to come in 4.0. Having said that, I feel like if you've been a part of the Star Citizen community for the past couple years or longer, it's the same crap every time. Like we always start the year with so much hope. There's always so many promises that have been made. And like some things work out. Some things get better. The game's definitely gotten better. I don't care what anyone says. Like, man, even just like beginning of last year to beginning of this year, even though everything that was promised has not been implemented, what has been implemented has been game changing in my opinion. Like, I mean, even just like persistent hangers was such a big deal for me anyways. Like I enjoy that part of it so much. The cargo overhaul I think has been great. Definitely needs work for sure. Still has issues, but overall it's been fantastic. And I can't wait to see what this year brings, but I'm also going in with, humbled expectations as to what is being promised and what is likely to be delivered. One thing I'm pretty confident in is that by the end of this year, we will once again have a better game in a better state than we did the end of this past year gone. So for me, it's a win. And like, one of the reasons why I wanted to start this stream and get into streaming Star Citizen content is because it's an unfinished game. I think that makes it a lot more interesting to talk about than something that's been polished and people have been playing for years. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just from my own standpoint, my own viewpoint, my own enjoyment in talking about this kind of stuff is that it's in development and it's been in development for a long time. It's a controversial game. It's breaking boundaries in some ways and people are breaking their screens over it in other ways. So it's, it's just an interesting game to talk about and play. And like, despite how broken it is, and I openly admit that it's very, very broken, and I play a lot of different games, but I always end up closing those games down and coming back and opening up Star Citizen, even though technically speaking, other games have much more finished, polished gameplay without the bugs. There's something about Star Citizen that keeps drawing me back. And I know there's plenty about Star Citizen that repels people too. So I guess it really depends on what kind of games you like, what kind of gameplay you like, whether you're genuinely interested in following the development of a game like this. Because if you're not, then God, stay away from it because it's just insane. I'm not confident this is going to load in, but we'll see. I'll give it another 5 minutes or so. If not, might be time to sadly end this stream. I don't think a single person has come in live, but that's okay. That's all right. I enjoy talking to myself. Just realized my mic was on mute. My apologies. Giving this one more try on the Zero to Hero account. If this doesn't work, I'm going to end this stream and see you next time. But let's see. Let's give it a shot. Still locked to that server, so I'm going to guess no. All right, guys. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for me today. I don't think anyone tuned in live, which is understandable. But if you have or are watching this post live, I really appreciate it. Please consider dropping me a subscribe for future content. Hit the like button, all that jazz. Assuming you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, do the Twitch things. I have no idea. I know nothing about Twitch. I'm learning it all as we go. But that is going to be it for me today, guys. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. We're gonna see you next time. I don't know.